Alright, so here we go. I always found that amusing. Anyway, this is my Resident Evil walkthrough. I'm going to be playing the game on arrange mode. If you're a newcomer to the game, you should do what I do here. Just hold down the right button while highlighting arrange mode and it will change green. That gives you double the ammunition that you'd normally get in the game. So if you pick up a clip that usually held 15 bullets, it'll now hold 30. Find some shotgun shells that hold 7, it'll hold 14 now, etc, etc. Makes the game a bit more bearable for new players. I used to play the game, well, I always play the game like that. I have beaten it without the green arrange mode though, but I'm just used to the green one. I've been playing it like that since I was like 10 or 11. So yeah. And yeah, back in the day when I first saw this FMV scene, it was the first FMV scene that I'd ever seen in a video game. So I was pretty immersed by this, even with the terrible actors and actresses. Speaking of which, I actually wonder where these people are now. What are they doing presently with their lives? Obviously acting didn't work out for them. But yeah, this scene was pretty cool. I mainly go back to this game for these bad cutscenes and the bad voice acting.
However, we soon discovered why.
The remake is by far sufficient enough to replace the original, but for some reason this one has a charm to it. Bad voice acting and all.
Hey! Come here!
Yeah, here it comes. I never understood why he was so surprised by that. So why exactly did they choose a blonde actor for Jill? And actually, this scene is actually... Oh, and something else... Well, I'll get back to that, but why exactly did Brad leave here? Did he get some orders to go, or was he just fleeing due to cowardice? It's amazing what one zombie dog can do to 4 people armed to the T. But yeah, this scene was heavily edited in the original version of the game, and in this version. This version was actually supposed to put the uncut version back in, but somehow they screwed up with the distribution. I don't remember how, but yeah, like this scene right here was supposed to show Chris smoking,
Jill Valentine,
which I think was illegal to show in American video games back when Resident Evil was first released. I actually wonder how Metal Gear Solid got away with Snake and his smokes that he smuggled in through his stomach all the time. But yeah, and the scene with Joseph, he gets pretty messed up. You should look up the original intro on YouTube. But yeah, the game started, so. They have escaped into the mansion where they thought it was safe. Yet. Why are those periods so high? So, listen to the Oscar-worthy performances here.
Barry! Where's Barry?
Chris just noticed that Barry wasn't with him.
I'm sorry, but he's probably...
I wonder if Barry was just getting mauled outside and nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted to partner up with him, so they just locked him
I'll
out.
go and check.
Okay, Jill and I will stay in the hall in case
So
of
does
emergency.
anyone know who shot right there? Was it Kenneth who did that
Chris?
shot? Or I don't know. It
Take
must have
care.
been Kenneth, but I'm not necessarily sure as to whether or not that shot happens during Jill's game. I'm pretty sure that it... Yeah, it definitely does. So I suppose it is Kenneth. In the remake, they actually show him die. They actually show it from the first person perspective, where he's blasting a zombie with an SMG or something. And yeah, he fails miserably. He just gets completely destroyed by that zombie. I don't know how you fail at killing a solitary zombie with an SMG, but somehow Kenneth found a way. Innovator he is. Also, something that was cut from that scene, they actually show his head fall to the ground and roll a little bit, I think. I don't know why they took that out. I don't know, this game was too heavily cut back in the day. I love the way that scene is done in the remake. That zombie looks awesome. And they actually show like Kenneth gasping for air as he's dying or in shock. Sort of seizing up.
Wesker? Jill?
So, yeah, in order to progress through the game, well, to progress to this point, you have to see that zombie. There's no way to avoid seeing that zombie there. If you try to go out here before seeing that zombie, Wesker and Jill will still be outside, and they'll just look at you like you're a moron or something. So make sure to see that zombie and just come right back out. I actually hate the fact that you have to pick up Jill's gun. What happened to Chris's gun that he had in the intro? It's not like he didn't have a gun in the introduction, unless he just tossed it at one of the dogs because he ran out of ammunition. I don't know, a little rage for you there. You just start with a combat knife, which is just completely useless in this game. At least in 4 and 5, you break down boxes and stuff to find items, so you don't have to waste your ammunition. But here, the knife is completely useless. Well, yeah, it is completely useless, as practically speaking. Even though I have seen knife runs of this game, knife speed runs, and those people could beat this game far quicker than I can with ammunition. I could probably get close if I tried, but yeah, I'm not really interested in speedrunning this game. So, you're going to want to come in here first, so that you pick up the first mansion key. I did pick up a little key earlier in the hallway that I just came in from. Those little keys are used to open up desks that usually contain shotgun shells. So those little keys are pretty useful. With Jill, you don't need the little keys because she has a lockpick. And too bad for Chris, he has to pick up the small keys and he has a smaller inventory. So, yeah, it is a bit annoying. Chris's game is, I'm not going to say a lot harder than Jill's, but well, Jill's game is pretty much normal mode and Chris's is hard. And rarely do I ever see playthroughs of Chris, so I just have decided to do it as him. I always play the game as Chris when I play, so I do know how to get through Jill's game. It's a lot easier, but I actually enjoy her game more. I don't really know why I always play as Chris. Oh, and those headshots, those are random. I wish they weren't, but the game would be far too easy if they were. But I love the sound that it makes when you get a headshot. So right there, I just pushed that statue off. We're not going to need to worry about that until later. The statue was holding a crest, and I'll tell you what the crests are for in another part. Yeah, another headshot. I got really lucky through here. Yeah, somehow got vomited on. Is that like acidic vomit? And if it is, how? I don't understand how that works. But yeah, anyway, you could actually go a different route through here, which I will probably talk about in the next part. But I have opted to go to the safe room first, and the safe rooms contain an item box and a typewriter, and the typewriters you can use to save your game. The item box you can use to put all the stuff that's in your inventory, or all the things that are in, or all the things that are around the mansion that you want, that you don't need at the moment. You can put them in your inventory or in your item box.
Whoa! What is it?
What? Oh! Oh no!
And we meet our
Sorry, I didn't mean
first
to
survivor.
do that.
You must be from the Bravo team.
Well,
Yes,
yeah, her
I'm
first
Rebecca.
survivor.
Rebecca Chambers.
Only
I'm
survivor,
a
really,
newcomer. I
besides
just joined the Stars
John
Bravo
Wesker.
team last month.
in Chris's game,
Well,
anyway.
I'm really sorry. Are you all right?
Yes. I'm Chris Redfield from the Alpha team. Are you the only person here from the Bravo team?
Well, because the helicopter made a forced landing, I just ran into this house anyway, but I
I love the voice acting in this
I
game.
see. There's nothing else you could have done anyway. It's good you're here.
Misogyny.
Yes, sir. But it's strange. I serviced the helicopter recently, but something went wrong with the engine. It was such a short flight.
How exactly did that helicopter go down?
I wonder if everybody
I
is...
don't really remember. I need to play Resident Evil 0 again. And speaking of which, that game doesn't have item boxes, and that's the biggest fault that I have with that game. But as you can tell, I had 2 clips inside of the item box, and I'm pretty good as far as ammo is concerned.
Well, what should I do now? If you go out to search for the other members, how about letting me come with you?
Every time you get one of these
All right, let's do it.
decisions,
Yes,
you could choose
sir.
whatever you want.
I'll
It has
do
no
my best.
bearing on the rest of the game,
I
and
have to prepare something.
Rebecca always does
you
whatever
like to
she
go
wants
ahead?
anyway, so yeah. She'll never come with you anywhere. She's just always wandering around doing some random stuff. I actually wonder how some of the other characters get around the mansion, because I'm the one unlocking all the doors and stuff. Like, how the hell did everybody get through here? Like, if you opt to see Rebecca in a different area, you actually need a key to get into that door. So what? I don't know. Unless the doors were unlocked in the first place and everybody else is locking them. Nah, whatever. So the best way to go about killing those dogs is to shoot them into a corner or as close to the wall as you can, then run up right next to them and shoot downward. You should be able to just riddle them with bullets, and you won't have to wait for them to stand back up. You could just keep shooting them over and over. So here's the Colt Python, or as it's better known as a Magnum. I don't know why they changed it to Colt Python. And this is one of the desks that the little key opens, and within it is shotgun shells, or are shotgun shells. Alright, so before you go into the next room, you should equip your Magnum. You'll see why in the next part.